It's time to welcome back our panelists for one final discussion tonight. State officials are debating a proposed bill that would create a paid family leave program for workers across the state. Now, if approved, Senate Bill 11 would require employers and employees to make regular payments to a state fund that would allow qualified employees 12 weeks of paid leave to care for personal family matters. This bill comes 1 year after state lawmakers, you might remember this, created a mandate that businesses provide paid sick leave to their workers. And Crystal, is mandated family leave the logical next step here, or are there some landmines that could be stepped on along the way that are unseen? It just seems so simple, but something seems debatable here. I'm curious where you are.
I'm not the model business owner to say, especially when I've served on various different economic development task forces for both Rio Rancho and Albuquerque. Yep. The perspective of paid family leave doesn't help the business owner with another regulation or regulatory policy that they have to take into consideration. However, one of the arguments I used to make about paid family leave or paid sick leave in this instance is that the business owner really needs to evolve themselves into being a more family-friendly employer or a more ethical employer. And so, for example, my company does pay family leave, and we're, like you had mentioned off air, is that, wow, you guys are a little bit more forward-leaning and progressive. No, it's just the right thing to do, because if all of our employees of birthing age, or most importantly, all of our employees are actually at a point where their parents are aging, family leave is incredibly important no matter where it is. And that's what's very common in our industry. So family leave is just an example of how you can be a better employer. Whether the mandate is a good mandate to begin with, it is really challenging because business owners don't like to be told what to do.
Just point there.
Yeah,
right.
end of discussion. And I think, while we were talking off camera, there is a really important clause to take into consideration in this bill is how is it going to be regulated.
That's right.
HWA actually is very well regulated, HWA being the Healthy Workplaces Act, right? And so HR companies working with ours, it was very easy for every 1 hour, or for every 30 hours you work, there's 1 hour. End of discussion. That's not hard to manage and monitor if you have the right resources. This one, you have to pay the state. You can even hear Secretary Nair in a lot of the interviews that she's really nervous if this actually becomes a thing in Workforce Solutions.
Interesting points here. Employees, Senator, must have worked for 90 days to qualify, and the cost to employers would be $4 for every $1,000 of wages. And employees would pay $5 for every $1,000 of wages. Sounds pretty simple so far, but my question is, Crystal brought up something interesting, that there's a lot of nuance here depending on the age range of folks. What about this for young families, for women employees? I mean, there's lots of different ways to look at this as opposed to a big blanket deal. Anything about this concern you when it comes to women particularly, and how this would affect employees?
Well, I think this will particularly help women, because women are normally the family caregivers, whether it be for their parents or for their children, and of course they are the ones that need leave when they're pregnant and have just given birth. So it's a bill that will really help women, but it will help the whole family, and I think that's the point. And I think it's also important to mention that this is not for small businesses under 5 employees. So most New Mexico businesses are under 5 employees. I think there's something like 160,000 of them in New Mexico. We're a small business state. So this doesn't apply to them. And for better or worse, I think it was just cost too much for small businesses. But it's also, I think, a way to attract employees too, if you have this kind of benefit, and that's important too.
Interesting point there, Crystal. The Kaiser Family Foundation says that less than half of employed women across the country say their employer offers paid parental leave. I got to think it's an opportunity, the way what Senator is mentioning.
It is. So you have to look at it from both sides. So yes, the employees are going to see that it's going to be more favorable to work for a company that's going to be accommodating to their life values and their lifestyle, including fathers. You have to take into consideration adoptees and parents would actually benefit from paid sick leave. However, one of the challenges that you run into from the business owner side is the fact that you're at 4, right? You're at 4 employees or 4, and it doesn't doesn't specify, is it FTEs or part-timers, right? So because technically 2 part-timers equals 1 full-timer. So past that nomenclature, you have to think about, when we looked at the Obamacare Act, there was a lot of companies that don't want to be over 50 because they don't want to pay that the health care limitations or that mandate. So 5 employees for paid sick leave will actually be a growth stunter for a lot of companies because they'll have to go, and if you could run the numbers again, it was for every $5 for every 5,000
1,000.
for 1,000 that they own. So if you do the math, that's like I can't do the math very fast, but that could actually stunt growth for 1 employee, a new service, a new
see your point.
contractor,
Yep.
et cetera. So there becomes it really screws up with the pro formas and the projections for down the road, and also the growth that they want to have to take into consideration. So for us, every time we have to add a new benefit mandate at CRZA, that actually means that could cost us between $10,000 to even $30,000 per year, and that those numbers are not taken into the debate of paid
Spoken
leave.
like an employer. I like that. Dan, interesting. I'm going to dovetail off something. There's a bigger picture here, perhaps.
You're coming to me for the
Yes, I am.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I am. And I'm going to vote Senate Pro Tem Mimi Stewart while I'm asking you. Anyway, she's the sponsor, and Senate Majority Whip Michael Padilla is in on this as well, meaning a reduction in infant mortality and child abuse. That's the long goal here. Meaning that, stability, a bigger picture if the bill is approved. Would you agree with that? If that's a possibility?
I mean, I don't know how that's going to play out. I mean, I think that, listen, we have a problem in the world right now. There's a lot of people who aren't fit to be parents who are parents, and sometimes putting the kids with them more often for more time is not necessarily the right move. Which has been the argument in New Mexico, right? When we've had this argument with CYFD on getting kids back in with their families. Sometimes kids don't belong back in with their families. I think one of the things that happens is that lots of times there is a motive to pass a piece of legislation, and both sides start going to extreme emotional discussions about why we're doing this. When the reality is, I think the intentions are right behind this, but I think, what worries me is, once again, we're going to take all this money, we're going to give it to the state. I haven't read the bill. I got to go on record with that. But I mean, so what happens? I remember not too long ago when I was in the legislature, in some cases that's a very long time ago, we had the unemployment tax and we had this huge surplus, and the legislature was going to give it back to the employees. It's 100% paid by the employer, and they were going to figure out a way to give it back to the employees. Now this bill says it's going to be, how do you decide what dollar goes back to who? And then, as we've seen many times with this type of stuff, we've seen it with the gas tax, right? We have a gas tax in New Mexico. The gas tax is intended to do what? Fix the roads and bridges in the state. What do? We take that money, it goes to the general fund. We find ways to use it for other things. So I think, when we start telling businesses, hey, we got a great idea. We're the government. We have a great idea. You're going to give us money, and we're going to help administer this program for you. I don't think we have a great track record.
Let me ask the same question for Senator. Again, that long play about infant mortality. 12 weeks of leave. It's been proven by study after study that a mom that is able to stay home and connect with her child leads to much better outcomes for that child down the road. She's a lovely lady, I've heard. Not from you, but from others. 12 weeks in this bill, that's a long time. The 11 states that have a similar deal that's passed only require 8 weeks of paid leave. So I'm asking, is there a middle ground here you can sense in your gut that possibly could make this more palatable for bipartisan support on this idea that it helps families in the long run to have this?
Well, as a mother, I don't think that 12 weeks is too long.
Thank you.
Because it takes a while to bond with your child. And the first 2 weeks, I almost don't even count that.
Right.
Because
any parent can connect
it's so
to what you just said.
difficult.
Yes.
It's so
like
difficult.
A blur.
I mean, it is
For
difficult.
some reason, it wasn't very difficult for me. I
Yeah.
don't understand
I wonder why.
I know. I mean, these creatures do not come with operators' manuals,
right.
and so you have to learn, and the child really benefits more than you think, as when you're doing the mothering and putting in the time. So I think it is important in the same way that we now recognize that early childhood education is extremely important in setting the stage for later life.
Crystal, I want to come back to something you mentioned that I'm so fascinated with. The idea of a state-funded family leave program, could that incentivize companies that already provide paid family leave like yours to actually opt for the state option? Is that something you've thought about as well?
So so of course numbers, right?
Right.
Again, I almost
Has
brought
to-
my
it all
budget.
depends,
I
right.
almost brought the balance sheet that I have in my company because it actually would become a little bit of an accounting nightmare. And I say that it'll become a little bit of an accounting nightmare because paid leave, paid time off, and paid sick leave is actually a liability for a company. It may possibly alleviate the liability on the worth of a company
Okay.
down the road, but at the same time, it also becomes kind of a pain because of the fact that the money has to leave hands. You know, the number one challenge that small businesses have
Yep.
is cash flow.
I gotta wrap you there. That I'm hearing you. It's a problem to
It's a
stay or
challenge.
go. Depending on a state-run program, like Dan's saying, it comes fraught with things. Thanks again to our line panel as always for this week. These guys were terrific. Be sure to let us know what you think about any of the topics these folks covered on our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram pages, and catch up on any episode you may have missed on the PBS video app on your Roku or smart TV.